the mobility burn that is.
Yeah, it's easy to play kind of, and pretty straightforward game plan. You don't really have to adapt to different decks, I think.
Yeah, it's very simple in its core. Play creatures, get your mobility out, hit face, and then you get your lands for your Spectre, and you continue hitting face.
Yeah.
That's really the whole game plan. We do see a Last Nightmare though, as a tech card. What do you think of it?
I personally run one Last Nightmare as well, or the Avengers. So we brought Red Yellow Burn, I think, now to every league, and we always have one Last Nightmare.
Yeah, I feel like it's just very good if you can have a tech card your opponent has to play around. Like you can't overextend into all-in buffing a green creature, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
When you have to fear a Last Nightmare, even if it's just a single one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like Team Equilibrium always brings one Cannon Carrier in their green deck.
Yeah,
Just to
I'm a
keep
fan
the
of Cannon Carrier.
opponent on edge.
Yeah, some Cannon Carriers can be very swingy and win you the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of act as a Last Nightmare since you can preserve your own creature. If you have a high attack creature, for example, and you can shoot and take a good trade from the far, that's very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Silent Horsemaster here, one of the other mobility cards that green red Crackthorn uses. I mean, some people like to split them into 2 Grove Goler and one Horsemaster, just so you can have more variety in your mobility, really.
Yeah, I think there is merit to a horse master. You don't have to have an offensive forest, and
Yeah,
you still have a lot of mobility with charge 3. So I like it actually. I'm not sure if we ran it, but I think it's very good.
I would say it's strictly better in the early game, but in the late game, Grove Collar just gives you more reach overall, I feel like. Yeah, Zorka really thinking this turn through.
Yeah, I think they have to decide whether they wanna like go and rush or somehow defend. Although I'm not sure you can defend versus Red Yellow Burn. So
yeah, we'll have to see. And actually, I think I want to jump into the voice chat of Zorka. So I'm gonna do that here.
Trade, right?
It's a bad trade.
Yes.
It's such a bad trade. Holy shit.
Yes, a really bad trade. But otherwise, we take 6 and more if he has Gift of Steel.
Yeah, okay.
No? What do you think?
We trade. It's like we have to. The other option is we could Horse Master or Axe Grinder in front of our orb.
Yep.
Is that good?
They win the race. Or so we can just forest up and explore in front of orb and move the brigand. No, if he has a flame burst, we are dead. Okay, so we trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feels bad.
Yep.
Forest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so expensive.
Yeah.
I think this is lost right now, but depends on what they have.
What do we pick next?
What?
We could pick mono green next. No, I'm just saying if we lose, what do we pick? What's our burn count?
It's not the time to think about it.
We are so far from the orb.
Yeah. We need elemental. If we get cheats, we can come back.
Yep.
Elemental is a key card in the matchup. Every time I play burn, my opponent has 2 elemental in starting hand.
Of course.
Oh, okay, fine.
Nice. So, what about double neutral, wood delay, and next? So we have an aggressive spot for Crackstone next turn.
I like that plan.
But what if they Scourge Flame? Like,
We have the wood elemental to defend ourselves.
Yes.
And, you can retreat with your cards.
Okay, so step back, Horsemaster.
Yeah.
Wood delay on the forest.
Forest on
Double
the
neutral, wood delay on the forest, and go up.
Yeah, I think you go down with the 4-3 because you have an aggressive forest, so you can teleport later.
Yeah, but if you move up the 4-3, you can collect next time.
Is that really important?
yeah, I think it is. You don't have teleport in hand. So.
Yeah, but
think,
that's why you want to be defensive.
I begin with this. Okay, so back or up?
Okay, fine, back.
But because anyway you will collect only once next turn, so there's no need to go up. We don't have any more Silent Masters, so we don't have that much mobility. Let's hope they don't have training and training or
Training will suck. They have probably Scorch Flame.
Yeah, that's
Scorch Flame double gift of steel.
Oh my god.
But we have a taunt. Great.
But I think they judge their. I mean, obviously they play against the best possible hand their opponent could have, but they give them a little too much credit, I think. And in the end, it didn't matter, but they could have double collected actually if the X-Grander moved on the neutral tile. I mean, they killed the X-Grander now, but they could have double collected this turn with Horsemaster and X-Grander.
That's true.
And also a thing I wanted to point out is that I don't like that forest spot. If they make it between the neutral and the opponent's mountain, then they have actually 2 spots to attack the orb. They don't need to make another land if they play a unit there to attack. And they have the X-Grinder spot.
That's a good point.
So,
I like securing the X-Grander spot.
Yeah.
Instead of taking the forest here.
So there was really no downside that I could see to just choose the forest spot between neutral and mountain, opponent's mountain.
Yeah. So what do they do with the Horsemaster here? I think you can't afford to collect, right? You have to stay.
No, and also you don't have to really. So yeah, you are on 2 resources. You can play another Crackthorn next turn.
Yeah.
And you don't have any more cards, so I think it's best to stay there. And now you just hope that they don't kill the Horsemaster. So you can trade next turn with with lucky Crackthorn hits.
No Cyphers here for little newbie.
Yeah, that's really painful.
Unfortunately.
They can +1 and Scorch Flame to trade. I think this is a decent line.
Yeah, I mean it plays into a second Crackthorn or Ground Shaker though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So maybe I could just imagine
Right, yeah.
hitting face here.
Yeah, and play
Yeah,
a
that's the
shedding.
obvious line.
Or maybe even keep the... Yeah. Yeah, I guess
So now,
that's a lot of pressure.
yeah. You set up lethal this way.
Yep.
Because next turn you can afford to Last Nightmare his 4-2.
Yeah, they're going to trade now, I think. The only question is, do they gamble with the Crackthorn or do they just make a defensive Ground Shaker? And then...
Yeah, that's
the-
interesting. Like
the trade.
Crackthorn could potentially be more face damage they could push now.
Exactly. They could push for lethal, and with lucky Crackthorn hits.
Oof, this is a tough choice. And by tough choice I actually mean this is a tough call to RNG. RNGesus actually.
Yeah,
Gotta see how this plays out.
I personally would go for the Ground Shaker here. Just make sure you don't lose next turn. Because
Yeah.
what are you doing if you play Crackthorn and you don't get a hit on Ground Shaker or a buff on Horsebuster? Then you've just lost. So I wouldn't take that risk. Well,
But is there another winning line? Does Ground Shaker defensive win here?
it gives you a lot. Oh, offensive Crackthorn. Wow. I think it actually does. You have healing in your deck. Your opponent is on one Farrier. Yeah. Well, they set
And now
up
they
lethal,
set up lethal. Yeah.
And now they just lose to Scorch Flame.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's painful. We can
And
just
there's no way you can play around Scorch Flame at this stage of the game, I think.
Would have Ground Shaker prevented that? Nah, it wouldn't have actually.
I mean, you could have played the Crackthorn defensive, maybe.
But the